Guys, welcome back to another day in the life. Yeah, I don't really have too much planned for today. I kind of just want to show you what a typical day looks like for me. Today I think I'm gonna go play pickup, as well as I guess join a few sessions. There's one right now. It's actually already started. I haven't quite joined yet, and if possible, I'll ask some questions and maybe see if I can, if the person running it is okay with it, I'll even film like his answer to it and like me asking the question, their answer to it, and maybe I'll even put the link to their socials or whatnot down below so you can go check them out. I'd say that would be good for several reasons. For like things like, for example, I feel like a lot of my content like up to this point has kind of been like me kind of like, if this makes sense, like trying to be like the wise guy or someone who's always trying to help others out. And I'm gonna be completely honest. If there's one thing I do not want, or wants, it's like, I guess one thing I really want is like a lot of people like maybe like, or maybe like whether it be a parent or a young child, like, I say child, I mean like kid, like, I don't know the word, infants or a youth player, like someone who's not quite playing men's football yet. If I want, like if they're gonna be watching my videos, I kind of want to be seen as like someone kind of close to like someone like, like someone may like look up to it, or like definitely not be someone who's like always swearing or partying or like doing something that, like, that would be like someone like a coach, like their coach. I don't want to be someone like where their coach doesn't want them to end up like me, and be kind of like disappointed that like they're looking up to me, if that makes sense. And so I kind of want to just try to be on my best behavior. I think I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm not really swearing. I can't even remember if I have sworn or not in a video yet or not, but I can't, if I have, I can't really recall that. And to be honest, I quite like that. I think I'm going to try and keep that going. But yeah, also another reason I'm kind of want to like see if I can record like me asking some questions to like those people who may act as mentors, as well as just to show that in case anyone was getting any ideas, no, by no means do I intend to be like known as like a know-it-all. If anything, I really like to learn a lot from people who have achieved much more than me, and that I maybe hope to, I guess, achieve what they've gone on to achieve. But yeah, even though I think I've done like a decent job up to this point. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I think that's enough talk for me. I'll see if I join one of the sessions or whatnot, and I guess I'll see you there.
So, yeah, we might have one next week. I'll let you know on my Instagram story. Okay, so Jordy, your question: what role does self-talk play in building confidence, and how can I improve mine? Okay, so like I said, confidence is about the mental side of your game, and self-talk, basically what it does, I'm not gonna lie, self-talk is really just the key to what actually matters. So like I said, you talk to yourself, you say things like, for like 2 minutes, I'm gonna do well in training today, I'm gonna make good passes, make good touches, train well today, have a good match today, say things like that. And then after, this is the main thing, you visualize it, actually picture it in your mind. And then what happens is that you already create those scenarios in your mind before you actually step up into the game or into training. So what this does is it tricks your brain to think you actually have been there before, because you've already pictured it in your mind. So that actually helps build your confidence.
All right, so I'm studying game footage now. So in this match between Chelsea and Leicester City, I'd like to say I can't use this footage. I'd like to say still kind of learning like the copyright rules or whatnot, but yeah, so I'm studying Malo Gusto as I'm a fullback myself. So right here, it looks like he's receiving the ball from Disasi. Yeah, so don't exactly remember, like, like what was happening. Like, it looks like the ball just kind of got cleared, and yeah, so I'd say like preferably like here. So I'm just trying to predict like what he's gonna do with the ball. So first of all, I notice he has time, so I'd say he's gonna take more than one touch most likely, and I think he's gonna look to ideally place somewhere forward. Like I'd say ideally Cole Palmer. But if that option's not on, maybe like to Caicedo. But then if he gets closing down by here, the number 20, like the forward here, I think the best option in the end would be just to go back to Disasi. But in the end, it looks like he has time, so I'd say like turn, like take a touch and look to play like I think someone like Palmer. I'd say like I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he might have the space to do that. And yeah, let's just see if I'm right or what happens. Okay, so it looks like I was right. Yeah, and right after it looks like I've done that. I just kind of try and look back so I can see he's backpedaling there. Yeah, just receives it, takes one touch there. Looks like he received with the sole, like passed it with the inside of his right boot. Yeah, it seems, yeah, I just try to analyze a lot. Yeah, like, and even more so, like I noticed like I was right. I'm thinking, I guess one reason I felt like he was like going forward was it seems like, they have players there, which is why Leicester cleared it. So yeah, I think that's what like kind of like gave me like why I kind of thought like he would be going forward. So yeah, anyways, that's basically how I analyze or how I study this footage. Yeah, I'm gonna keep studying this, and I think I'll see you. And I think there's gonna be another Q&A session today, and I might ask some more questions and record that for you as well. So yeah. Yeah, so I kind of a few questions I wanted to ask you. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, you're right now an American playing in Estonia, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, could you give like some insights into what the Estonian Football League is like as a player, who's like played in multiple countries? Like, how would you describe, like, can you give some insights as to like the league and like what it's like?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a big gap between where I played previously, which was Brazil, and then obviously Estonia now, because Estonia is a very small country. They don't have a lot of money, so they're not paying, a lot of people the right amount of money to come over and make the football better. They also don't have a large population, so the competition isn't as good as somewhere where you would find like Germany, Spain, England, stuff like that. So the level of football is lower. So players who are looking to stand out, which is what I tell Americans who are, looking to improve their game, because in America there's so many people. There's 320 million people that you're trying to compete with, right? There's so many players, and if you go to a smaller country, and especially if you're a foreigner, then you tend to stand out a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to climb those levels. So that's why I like to recommend. Estonia is kind of difficult to get into as a foreigner, just because, like I said, the money part. But if you find other countries like Sweden, Iceland, Poland, these places, they pay well, and you can start to climb that football pyramid pretty, I'd say, fairly easy if you start to stand out.
Great. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, another question I wanted to ask you is, yeah, so like I've spoken to you before, so I know a little bit about your background and how you used to play college soccer. And
Mhm.
I kind of wanted to ask you, at what point did you decide to move your footballing career like abroad? And do you wish you did it sooner or later, or do you think you did it at just about the right time?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I'm like most of you, where my dream of playing professional football was from a very young age. Um, I didn't like I always wanted to play in Europe, but I didn't make that decision until I met a coach after college who gave me the opportunity to do so. And he took me to Slovenia for my first opportunity, where we went to a trial. But I ended up getting injured, and then I went back to the States. Just a long story. But yeah, it's the best way that I would say is because in the States, obviously there's no promotion relegation, and seeing a different side of football than what you're used to in the States, and also the competition levels. It's just so much better in Europe. But yeah, like I said, it's just about the opportunities, the people that you know, the people that you meet, maybe the people that you haven't met yet. Like I said, my opportunity didn't come till after college. So yeah, that was pretty late in my journey because I was like 23 or 20, 23 when I graduated. So I was already kind of up there in age considerably for like, Europe because I want to invest in younger talents. But yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I just had one more question, if that's fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, so first of all, I want to say I really like your training page, Prolific Soccer, and I'm kind of trying to do something similar right now, but like the way I'm kind of trying to make it stand out is like by making it like kind of college specific, and maybe in the future, maybe it'll even become professional, like soccer specific. And I just wanted to ask, would you say that your Prolific Soccer training page, and like in regards to like the impact it's had on your football career, would you say it's had a positive, negative, or would you say even no impact on your footballing career, like from like the point of view of the player, if that makes sense?
Yeah, from a point of view as a player, definitely positive. I would recommend for everybody here to leverage your social media as much as possible, and not just one, but like all of them. Um, Especially because you can put your highlight video in your link in your bio, and you can start to research and message these coaches, clubs, people that you haven't, like I said, you haven't met yet, who can bring you opportunities. The reach that I have with Prolific Soccer, or that I've gained, it's also gained me opportunities from people that, like I said, that I didn't know, who reached out and said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you. Are you interested?" And then I can decide whether or not I am interested. But yeah, definitely positive, especially like I said with the reach that I gained.
Hey guys, so the call is over now, and now I'm about to go play some pickup. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys that I have mentors too. Like, I feel like I've done enough to like mentor some people, especially those who want to play college soccer. And yeah, I just wanted to show you, I technically have mentors. Like, I have mentors too. Like, I'm not a know-it-all. Like, like there's some people who have done things that I cannot really say I know how to do, simply because I haven't quite done them yet. And I don't even know like the process or whatnot. I mean, maybe I have an idea, of course, but for me to like really know how you do something, for me it's like to show you know how to do it. For me, it's doing it yourself, which is why I asked Simon, our Prolific Soccer, there just some questions. Yeah, I'm hoping this music isn't copyright either, but yeah, I'm in my car. Yeah, like I've been getting to drive it a good amount ever since getting back from home, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go head out now so I can arrive at like the arrival time. It's pretty much already is, so yeah. I'm also trying to get my first vlog in Spanish out. Like when you're watching this, it should be out hopefully. But yeah, still editing it, almost done though, and yeah. See you guys there.
It's actually kind of enjoyable. It reminds me of my childhood.
All right, guys. So yeah, it's been quite a big gap between, I guess, my last clip and I guess this one. I think this is going to be the outro. Was thinking originally of having something like in between the pickup and the outro. But like, I guess I didn't really do much that I thought I should show, really. I mean, the call lasted a bit longer. It didn't necessarily end after I asked all those questions. Like, other people on the call, like, asked their own questions. Yeah, Simon also, I think I will leave, that one call I didn't really talk about with Joshua, like, yeah, one, yeah, I don't even remember what his like page is called, but yeah, I know his name is Joshua. He's another mentor of mine. Yeah, I'll try to save like, yeah, I think I'll tag his social medias in the description below. But yeah, please make sure to like check out both Simon and Joshua down below. Yeah, like a lot of the times, like I forgot where I heard this quote from, but like it was something about like you don't necessarily learn while you're trying. I've heard quotes saying like one of the best ways to learn is to teach. Like I think that's like a lot of advice, like study advice, like when it comes to school and stuff. And it makes a lot of it makes sense to me. And to be honest, I think that's true, especially like when you're trying to like get like a really deep knowledge of like a topic. But then I heard this quote that went something like, you don't learn when you're trying to teach, and kind of doing like what I've been doing a lot with like in my videos, which is essentially trying to like help you guys, I guess, become a better footballer, like go to college, play for a higher club team, or maybe even just climb like, I guess, the ranks in your team, if that makes sense. Like maybe you could be like someone like from going from one of the worst players on the teams like one of the better ones. I haven't really talked too much about like how much that's been. And to be honest, I've kind of been meaning to say this for a long time, and like it's like, yeah, I've heard this from someone else. A lot of times this is pretty interesting to me, and to be honest, I think it's been very beneficial for me in my footballing career. But basically, a lot of the times is like what happens is whenever I go to a new team, more often than not, like I'm like the worst player there. Like I don't know if the worst, but like amongst the worst players there, if that makes sense. Like not necessarily someone who's like the star of the team already. Oh wait, yeah, it looks like my phone's running out of battery. Like not necessarily someone who's like a starter or anything like that. Like right away. Like it's almost been more like I've had to really like fight for my spot. And I think that's really been beneficial. It's like helps me stay humble a little bit. And yeah, I don't even know if I finished my point on that. Like you don't learn when you're trying to teach, or like when you're trying to be like the mentors, like something like that. Like you learn more about like while being humble and like listen to like what someone else says. Yes. Honestly, yes. I haven't even said this, but to be honest, I'm not really like one reason I like make these videos is it's kind of easier to like hold myself accountable, like make sure I'm doing what I have to be doing, because I don't even said this, but I'm not even where I am like when it comes to like, you know, my foot, like in terms of my footballing ability. I kind of know my weaknesses. Like for example, I didn't even say like for a long time on camera, but I can tell you right now, I was to some extent surprised, but maybe I shouldn't have been, since looking back on it, to be honest, I don't think I really deserved like minutes, but I didn't really get any minutes for like, you know, my school's varsity team. A lot of times like would be more I would just play reserve. And to be honest, that was probably like deservedly so. Yeah, honestly, it was like if there's another thing like I could say to you guys, it's to like try to never like take any level you play at for granted. Like I can tell you like that's like some good advice. Like that would have been nice to hear, like even in like, you know, my youth career days, because to be honest, like, you know, I was trying out for some teams that weren't even like ECNL RL, and they didn't even really want, and not even all of them wanted to sign me. And to be honest, I think I kind of took like their level for granted, if that makes sense. And like that really like that was a bit of a wake up call for me. So in some ways, I felt like I kind of needed it. And yeah, like, and to be honest, it's a similar thing kind of happened with college. Like, you know, like at the very start, I almost thought it would have been kind of similar to how, like, you know, like my last club team, which was like NPL and ECNLRL. And to be honest, no, I'd say like the second team of my college right now, I'd say we could probably beat like the first team of my my last club team before going to college, like by a few goals at least. But anyways, yeah, I might even, yeah, I've never even really done this, but I might even leave my own social media in the description, or maybe even in my like channel bio. Yeah, because I don't think anyone like here like that I don't know in real life has my Instagram or whatnot. But yeah, I might just leave it there. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Yep, hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. I try to make it different at least. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.